I say in terms of who
I
you
decided,
move.
man.
Number
You know what?
one,
There's no
who is
NCAA
gonna affect the
basketball
most if
on
you
right
move,
now.
or
I
affect
said,
the least
fuck
amount
it.
of people
I'm going to
by
jump
making
in a
that move.
draft.
And then number
I'm going to
two
get
is who
this
gets paid
going.
more.
We're going
If
to do
James Daniels
this
getting paid
all
more than
together.
Isaac, and James want to
And
play right, James gonna play right. The same way
I'm going to
T.J.
win
Watt,
something
he's
from
getting
this draft.
paid like
I'm really
he rushes
feeling
on the right
confident on
hand
this
side.
one.
Instead, he's like,
Let's
I'm
go to
gonna rush on the left.
Underdog.
When you T.J. Watt, you rush on the
Let's
side
go to
you want to rush on.
NFL. Big
So that's the
board.
thing with James Daniels
Entering
right
this
now. I
John
think
right
that
here.
he gonna be that right guard.
And
Until he decides he don't
we
want to
are
be that right
jumping in
guard.
the draft right
But
away.
either way, we
There's
got
no
really
time
good
for
Cooper Cup.
anyone to hop in
Joseph
with me.
Jacobs has joined the upper
We're
room.
going right to
I
it.
shot at him.
It's looking like I'm going to get a Cooper Cup.
Steve Dadig. That's my cousin.
Shout out to Steve.
He says Tomlin will lean Smith and Jigba for his Pittsburgh pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
His brother is on the Pirates.
So we got action either way.
Yeah,
so
man,
you can go
draft
Smith and
starting
Jigba for the bloodline,
very
or we can
soon.
go Addison for the
I like
Pitt
my
storyline.
pick position.
Either way, we good though.
The Addison Pitts.
I'll be able to lock up either top
Oh,
tier
her brother
running
bloodline?
back or
especially
top
if
tier
KPA is
wide
his
receiver,
QB.
depending on who goes.
He's got to overrule.
I've seen Christian
Yeah, I
McCaffrey
did
fall
check. His
to
brother
4,
is, Kanan
and
Smith and Jigba.
obviously Cooper
And I
Cup
guess he's
is
doing pretty well
listed
in spring
at
training
4
right now.
ADP.
I could just see the resurgence. You know, that'd be a story. That'd be a headline, bro. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The brothers bringing championships back to
Listening to some Arthur Mote's
The
experience with Teak
bloodlines are
right
with
now
the black and gold.
as
I
a
don't know
background
if the
noise,
baseball
you know,
player
He's gonna do
a
that.
nice white
Nah,
noise.
I think it's going to be more O'Neal Cruz than him.
Up
But
in
he'll
3
still be in the
picks,
conversation.
let's
I can
see if Christian
Jackson Smith and
McCaffrey can
Jigba
fall
doing
to
some
me.
stuff in the slot
If not, I'm all right taking
He could have
Cooper
some-
Cup.
I don't know if the baseball player.
I think he can put up similar numbers
we already
to
said, man, Smith and Jigba
2 years
versus
ago.
I
I
versus
do
Jordan
believe
Addison.
he can be a big
You're
play
not going to
threat.
go wrong either way. Both of these dudes are very talented. Both
Christian
of these dudes bring
McCaffrey right
certain
off the
things.
board,
We
so
talked about, like, some
I'm
of the
fine with
little
taking Jamar
differences, but
Chase or Cooper Cup
I
right
think
here.
we're going to be splitting hairs with those dudes. So, yeah, man. I ain't tripping one way or the other.
Right. What's the edge now, though?
Jamar Chase,
Doesn't
so
bring it up.
like I was talking
Pittsburgh
about,
ties
it
and Pirates.
will be a
I don't
Cooper
think you
Cup
can rely
for
on
me
Pirates ties.
in this draft.
It's
First
an actual
overall,
bloodline, though.
in my with my
bloodline.
board with my
Because
pick
what does Coach T
at
always say?
pick
He
number
loves,
4,
I want
I'm gonna
love,
take
baseball,
Cooper Cup.
but it's still professional. It's still a certain level of detail that has to go into your work to accomplish that.
I would like to think the Pitt connection and the Kenny Pickett connection overrides that a little bit more.
But what happens
If it was
Kenny
just a
would've been
random-
gone, though?
Here's what I will say: if it was just a random draft and Addison wasn't in it, and it was
Then
Smith
that
and
takes,
Jigba,
yeah.
I do think he has a
Okay.
little bit more of an edge over the other receivers.
Punching my punching
agree. I
bag, I
definitely agree on
sustained
that.
some injuries.
I like
I
it.
got
Stephon
scrapes on
Bell.
my
If
hands,
not this episode,
I don't
I
know
need
if
a
you can
story
see it,
time how Moats met Deke. My
but
schedule's switched
my
up, so I
hands
haven't
are
caught
a
live
bit
in a
cut
minute,
up.
but I've
punching
been
without
listening
any
via
gloves,
podcast. Love the show.
any
Keep it going.
Hey,
protection.
shout out to you, Steven. And
Always use
whenever
protection.
you do tap back onto the
There we
YouTube
go.
channel, man, just
Yeah,
type in
man, so
Moats
my
and
hands
Deke.
are scraped up.
We actually
I
do
do
have a
feel
little
them
video
every
up there.
now
We
and
talked
then.
about it. It was
But
like
I
one
think
of
it's
those
going to help me
perfect
push
ones
through
where we
this
really
draft.
went
I
in
do
depth, and the
believe it.
story was actually like dope, and we captured it. So we don't want to like redo it and mess it up. So that's what we have it available though.
Travis
So,
Kelsey still on the
definitely check
board
that
at
out,
pick number 8.
Grill him
It's
out.
very interesting.
Might need to look this up.
He's falling.
Edmonds
I've
getting
seen him
low,
go all the way
question
to
mark.
pick number 10
Looks
before,
like he's sending
but he goes off the
shots
board
on
at
Twitter.
8.
I'm still in the process of getting my access back. It is going really well though. Shout out to the Steelers.
Can you
man.
imagine picking
They've
up
been really, like,
Travis
pivotal
Kelsey
in
at pick number
getting
10? That would be
more
amazing.
expedited. But yeah, I'm still.
That would be
flying
absolutely
blind, so to speak,
phenomenal.
man. So what did Edmonds say?
But I get a Cooper Cup at 4.
These look like
Very
Deontay
happy with
tweets.
the pick.
Oh, boy. It's only one. It's only one.
Lord.
It's not
Oh,
tweets.
Lord.
Here's what it says. Keep it, playa.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
What do you think?
Maybe he's pushing
I
me.
do get a
Maybe
Cooper
he's
Cup
keeping
at
it playing
4.
like that.
It
Or maybe he's
seems
saying,
like
yeah, y'all can keep that little deal. That little money. Y'all keep
You want to
that.
hear reactions?
in the
David
range of
Banter, keep it
possibilities,
Pittsburgh, be
one of
more
these
Ike Taylor,
quarterbacks
less
could
Steven Nelson.
fall. However, that's very unlikely. But if one of these guys
Black and
comes
Gold
back
saying
to
we
me,
love
I
you in the
will
bird,
take
bro.
him.
Hope you stay.
I'll take one of these quarterbacks.
Big Cat, he can't give himself a contract, people. How do we
And then
know
maybe a DK
that's happened yet?
Metcalf, the way I see things.
Thiago Fernandez, when you sign him back to the Steelers.
And 8 picks, that's
Pirates,
1,
95,
2,
get this man
3,
contract.
4,
You're a
5,
rapper. Maybe
6,
he's
7,
rapping
8.
over there.
That is
I've
past
seen a lot of
Jalen
positive
Hurts.
I do like
That
the
leaves
positivity,
T.
though.
Higgins on the board,
Don't
Devontae
leave, bro.
Smith,
Please resign.
Kenneth Walker, Chris
Please
Olave.
stay.
Yeah, I know,
So
I'm
most
with you, man.
likely one
I
of
do
these
too.
quarterbacks won't be
Let's
there.
run
But
this thing
again,
back. You
if
coming
one
back
of
to
them
the bird?
does
Yeah, it
fall,
seems
I
like
will
people
be happy taking them.
come to their senses with Edmonds.
Yeah, I
He's a good
definitely want
player.
him back, man. I definitely want him back. Good dude, man.
Be very smart for us to
Yeah.
resign him. I do wonder.
He going to Chicago.
Well, I forget what show I was listening to today. The safety market was brought up.
Yeah.
Gardner Johnson signing for 8.
I
That
did
can't
see
that can't be helping out Edmonds right now.
Yes. I did see that. I thought he was getting
I'm
teased.
almost seeing
I
myself,
did see that.
if
Yeah,
all the quarterbacks are off the
And
board,
there's
almost seeing
I don't know if
myself
they
go
signed
with a T.
between whenever I
Higgins
saw.
over
I think it might have been
Devontae
Calvert.
Smith.
John.
Although that's
there
a
was
close call right
there was
there.
like 5 or 6
Yeah.
safeties he was
Not
named.
sure who
That
I'd want to
decent
take.
names, just
Uh-huh.
good solid safeties. I know we value Edmonds here, but I don't know if teams around the league. And they probably have Edmonds in that class. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is there's a
It's going to be a close
of them out
call
there. If you're seeing the
between
best
all these
one
quarterbacks,
available
of
right now, getting
course.
like 8 mil.
I want
That's
to
tough.
take Josh
Yeah.
Allen or Patrick
Plus with
Mahomes.
us already
It's
signing
not looking
Casey,
like
having that
one
locked
of them
up.
will be on the board. Jalen
I wonder.
Hurts. I'm going to
I mean,
assume that
he's
Josh Allen
worth, in my
and
opinion,
Patrick
like 4 or
Mahomes
5.
get taken in
Yeah,
this pick.
but
I'm really hoping
Maybe we get
that
him for 3.
it might
there
be
is a
cheaper. That's
wide
what I'm
receiver
saying.
I think Casey
taken
got 3
4,
whenever I was looking
but
at
I
his
could
deal.
see it going
Got
either
around
way.
3. Maybe that's
And
it.
But if you're
honestly,
Evans,
Make it
do you
equal.
want more than Casey?
He deserves
I
more
do
for
want a
what he's done in
quarterback.
Pittsburgh,
I
though.
do want to take a
I can
quarterback
see how
with
the
one of these
Steelers are
picks, but
saying, though.
I don't need
here
to
we
pay
go.
that.
I'm going to
Hey,
get one of the
We've
quarterbacks,
been looking
thankfully.
for some more splash. Casey gave it to us in limited time last year.
Yeah. If I'm Edmonds, my response is, man, he don't tackle like me.
I agree. I mean,
Shit.
that's one of the things. He
Period, man.
averaged 80
So do I go with
tackles
Josh
for
Allen
his
or
missed- barely
Patrick
missed, like, 2 or
Mahomes?
3 games.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with
like,
Josh
man,
Allen
like Evans.
with this
That's
pick.
the reason we want that
I got Josh
consistency,
Allen,
man.
Patrick Mahomes
Like,
still
it
on
don't
the
always
board.
have to be
It
sexy.
was a close
Consistency
call. I
matters,
wasn't
though,
sure
bro.
whether to go Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, but
So
I just took
maybe
the
if they
taller
want to have
talent.
Edmonds
But
feeling
maybe
good, they give him a
taking
little
one
bit
of the
more
greatest
than
quarterbacks
give
of
him
all
4.
time and
But that
Patrick
was, I think
Mahomes
that's a
could
good
have been
deal
the
for
move.
Pittsburgh too.
But I
think
went
so
with
as well.
Josh Allen.
He's a nice compliment to make up. Now you don't have to worry about drafting an athletic linebacker early on. You can
Now I'm
do
up
some
in
of
5 picks. I'm
Edmonds
hoping that one of
box.
these wide
Yeah,
receivers
Edmonds
are still on the
box,
board.
Edmonds
I
down
don't
linebacker.
necessarily want to gamble on
I want
a
Edmonds back.
running back quite
I wonder
yet.
how much. I wonder how much this is going to be like last year. Where
This
it
is, of
keeps
course,
going on.
because I
Until he
value
came back on, like,
some of the
super
playmakers
cheap.
later
Yeah, it was
at running
unbelievable.
back so
Tito
much.
Whitaker has gifted.
But
an
I'll
Arsenal's
take
membership.
DK
Shout out,
Metcalf,
Fan on TV.
Derrick
Shout
Henry,
out
Nick
to Tito
Chubb.
Whitaker for paying the
I'll
full,
take
but
one of
then
them for
also
sure.
big time shout out to Phantom TV and
Hopefully
welcome
DK
to
Metcalf can fall to me in 3 picks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And no, Tito, we do greatly appreciate you though paying it for it, man. Salute you.
G-Man 39, Kevin Byard may be released. Pair him with Mink.
DK
Well, yeah, that's a
Metcalf
high-end
off the
option.
board,
That's
so
gonna cost a little bit.
it's looking like a
Because he
Derrick
said he was
Henry.
not taking a
Derrick
pay cut
Henry it
because he
is.
felt his play did not warrant a pay cut. And I would agree. Kevin Byard's a ball hawk, been doing this for a long time and never gets the
And let me know about that Patrick
national
Mahomes. Did you
respect,
take
but
Josh
for the
Allen or
football
Patrick
guys, no, you
Mahomes
respect that
first?
guy. Kevin Harris.
Which one?
Yeah, I
Who would you
wouldn't
take
mind.
over the other,
Don't
Patrick
know if
Mahomes
paying him
or
what
Josh
makes sense.
Allen?
Yeah, because he was
It's
getting
very,
6 right
it
now.
is a
Mahomes
close
already
call
signed,
for me,
yeah.
but I ended up
He's getting
taking
6.
Josh
They
Allen,
wanted him to
obviously.
take a pay cut out
I
there,
like
so
his
he's not
rushing
gonna be looking for
upside.
anything less
But
than
Patrick
6.
Mahomes, then again,
Yeah.
of course, has
Crystal Pavone.
everything you want
Besides
from a
Najee
quarterback,
Pat,
and his
the 21
ankle's going to be
draft
fine
is
when he comes
officially a
back
bust.
next
Oh no,
season.
Chris, don't you do that to us, Crystal. Don't
So
you
that was
do
definitely
that.
a close call for me, and I wasn't
Okay,
sure
what were the random
exactly where
picks?
to go.
Green,
Green,
But
Moore.
I
Moore
did
was
end
at
up
4.
taking the
Who was in
man,
the
the
fifth?
myth, the legend. I took
I will
him
find it.
I
at
would say if you pull it or I pull it. All right.
I got it.
with the
Dang,
second
Crystal, why you
pick.
had to do that, Crystal? Don't you do that
And
to that 21
now
draft?
this is what my draft board's
Dan
looking
Moore in the
like.
4th is an amazing pick, actually.
Okay.
For a 4th round pick, we got value out of him.
Yeah. You trying to replace him in 2 years?
So I am hoping in 10 picks that Najee Harris
I'm
will
just
be on
saying,
the
no, it
board.
is.
for him to
Yeah.
start, your 4th round pick started how
Yeah.
many games?
No, I'm with you on that, man.
Improved.
It's looking
I mean,
pretty
yeah,
slow for
could be
that, but
better.
that is my hope.
2021,
I
right?
want
Why
to
am I-
draft
wait,
Najee
no,
Harris
this
the
is-
most
that's
I
20,
can.
I'm
I
sorry.
think that
Wait, should we look at
his
2020?
rushing upside is
2020.
maybe
That one has
above
Claypool, McFarland.
It's got
I want to say any
Shit,
other
Heisman's in there, man.
running back with the
Not a
upgrades
bust,
at
though.
O-line
Great pick.
that
3rd round
the
value, too.
Steelers have
Buddy
gone
Johnson in
and
the
made
4th.
this
Yeah.
offseason. In free
Loudermilk in
agency,
the
they
5th.
signed 2 of the top maulers at guard.
Wait, what?
And I
don't
think
know.
we're
Quincy
going to
O'Shea
go
in the
another.
6th. Trey
I
Norwood in
want
the
to say
7th. Presley Harvin in the
I
7th.
want to say we're going to go and take another.
That's not a bad draft.
That's cool.
It's looking like one of these 2 picks, 3 picks.
It's all about your
He's
expectations.
going to go
and
off
what
the
you're
board.
looking for out of your 7th round
Unfortunately,
picks. Like
it
Norwood,
seems like he won't make it to
the
me.
play he gave us his rookie year was pretty
We'll
good.
have to see.
He didn't really get much out on the field last year.
Pressman is starting punter.
Yeah, I thought Presley Harvin was pretty good last year. He had like 1 or 2 punts that were terrible. But
Yeah.
outside that, he was pretty good. We got Quincy Roche back. He's your 6th round pick. It's just like once you get past the 3rd or 4th, you're just. I mean, those dudes have just as good of a chance as like undrafted guys making the team. And, and that's how Jameer Jones made. Like Jameer Jones played better in preseason than Quincy.
Is it possible that I get the player that I want?
We're talking about Steelers.
It is definitely within the realms of possibilities that he falls to me, and I could see it happening.
Feeling all that. I mean, it was still straight though.
He's got to hope
also depend on how people view Najee.
He makes it to me and 2 more picks.
Well, it was good. I wouldn't call it a bless though. Or yeah, I wouldn't say it was a bless.
Jared Judy off the board. It seems like it is possible with this guy having 2 running backs already. It seems like Najee Harris will be able to fall to me, and that would be amazing.
Like I said, 7th round pick, Norwood.
Here we go, Najee on the board. I take a Najee Harris all day. Najee Harris.
Roche's back. Loudermilk, really haven't got much out of him.
It would be interesting, though, comparing 21's class to, like, some of the other classes that we've had in this last 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think it – I think our last one was the best. I just wonder if you stack 21 up compared to everyone else's 21, are we at least in the top half? That's my thing. Because last year, I mean, going off that standard, we were a top 5 draft. Remember? We were comparing it to the rest of the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got Najee and Freiermuth.
Yeah.
And then Dan Moore starting left tackle. I don't know. Yeah, comparing it, I bet you we're in the teens. Like
we should
compared to other people's 2021 drafts.
To me, Najee is gonna dictate how high up or how like low we are, depending on how people view him.
To me, the pick right here has got to be either Michael Pittman or Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen off the board. So let's see if a Michael Pittman can fall to me in 2 picks. If not, maybe I'll gamble on the upside of Drake London.
People weren't all fond of his play.
Right.
I am hoping a Michael Pittman is still on the board when I pick.
Right. So it's just like
Michael
to go
Pittman
from
off the board. So
this season to now,
should I
like,
take Drake London or Christian Kirk?
It's like at one point in time, a lot of the nation was trying to trade this man this year or make Jalen Warren the full-time guy. So that's all. And that's your first.
I'm not sure who to pick here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a George Kittle.
What about JC? He's played guard and center. Not a bad option. Yeah, bring him back.
Yeah, he's the one where we said he's still
maybe a little bit early to pull a tight end right there. I've got to say
he wouldn't be too expensive.
I would like to wait a little bit longer on tight end. I think he can pick up a lot of good talent. But with George Kittle scoring 170 points last season, it seemed like the right move for me. Given that Drake London only had 140 points.
Let's go.
Again, as a rookie, he had 140 points. You could project him to have more than that.
There's no left tackle.
Christian Kirk had a high scoring season, but he's got another player at the same position coming in and maybe filling his role. So I didn't like any of those 2 things about both those players. So I went and took the next best up, George Kittle at a tight end, where I think he can provide a lot of upside for me because
if Dan were to still be the starter,
unless you have one of the top scoring tight ends, you really only have a good shot at taking someone later.
But we've
been
yeah, for the bonus,
your talent kind of stays the same.
Starter upgrade,
unless you can pick a top tier tight end. So I'm glad that I went ahead and scooped the tight end. But I'm really looking at the wide receiver position. I feel like I don't have enough talent at wide receiver right now. I only have a Cooper Kupp.
Like we talked about Luan or Isaiah Wynn, but even with those dudes from there on, it gets more and more.
So my hope is I can pick up some good playmakers at wide receiver, fill out my roster, maybe even go the next 4 at wide receiver.
He officiates and was the red hat.
Facts.
Super jealous.
Swear. Yeah, man.
Go Hokies.
Yo, he did say that. Yeah, man. I did run into your pops, man. Shout out to him. Yeah, I saw him before the game. It was all love.
In 7 picks. Kyle Pitts is still on the board, so that sort of makes me think if he's still on the board, I will be a little bit salty that I took George Kittle because I value Kyle Pitts and George Kittle very similarly. But that being said, I took George Kittle, Kyle Pitts off the board, so I am feeling thankful that I took tight end because I'm going to assume that both of them would have been off the board. Right here, I don't love taking George Pickens because I have Najee Harris already, but I will take Brandon Ayuk or George Pickens.
Just excited for him, man. This dude, sharp as heck, man, puts the time in, hard as heck in terms of just his work ethic, his attention to detail. Good in terms of how guys respond.
It's a bit scrambled at the same position right here.
Like you said, he's been around for a while, man. And yeah, even when you look at him last year, spending some time in training camp, man.
I haven't taken a Treylon Burks before. I couldn't trust him after last season, but he might be able to do some great things this season. We'll see. He will be the wide receiver number 1 in that offense.
15-16 time frame when he came here, if I remember.
But I also already have Derrick Henry, so it puts me in a juxtaposition.
But yeah, man,
having George Pickens or Treylon Burks, because again, I have their running backs in that same offense. Let's go George Pickens. I think it's the same value as, let's say, taking a Drake London. So
we also stole a Ravens.
I did see that as well.
That's
man.
nice.
Now I'm hoping Gabe Davis or Kadarius Toney still on the board. I'll take one of them or Treylon Burks.
Pros and cons, but what was they teaching you over there? How was you learning that? Now learn it the right way, all right? Because they imitation.
So right here, I'm hoping I can get a Gabe Davis.
Shout out to Austin. Ooh, cool. Let's get
After Gabe Davis, it's got to be the other wide receiver on the board, Kadarius Toney, because he's got so many. He's got a great quarterback, but there are other wide receivers in that offense surrounding him, so that could take away from some of his production. But he did score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, which I like. But it's the same reason that I also like another player in that offense. So this could be a breakout candidate. But again, he only had 50 points last season. So for that reason, I want to go Gabe Davis, especially being that I have Josh Allen. But then again, Gabe Davis is one of those up and down players. So I'm going to definitely need to invest heavily in the wide receiver position going forward.
I'm not a big bettor when it comes to March Madness because it's just too crazy. I hate the single elimination. Anything could happen. A dude gets cold. It's like, bruh, he slept off. You see what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just that's March Madness though. Like,
Miles Sanders off the board. There is still an Isaiah Pacheco, which is a breakout candidate, but I'm going to go with a wide receiver again. I need a wide receiver.
The reason I like series is because the best team for certain is going to average out. But this is exciting in the sense that anybody can win, kind of like the NFL's playoff model. You can get a wild card team, get hot, and just go. Would that happen if they're playing a series, though? You don't, that's some of the stuff that comes into it. But different
sports. I'll be right in.
Shout out to the right now, man. You survived that first week, bro. God, dog.
Yeah. Sweet 16. Mm-hmm. 1 of 16. Steen and Bowie haven't been on a live in a while. I hope y'all stay blessed.
Hey, like
also, if we take a tackle at 17, would you rather get a CB or Jordan Addison at 32?
If we went tackle at 17, I wouldn't hate Jordan Addison at 32, but I would prefer corner. But it would also depend on who it is. If who's available to me at 32? Because I'm thinking in my mind, trying to think, was it Ringo, Cam Smith potentially? Who else you thinking at 32?
Banks.
Yeah. Deontay Banks is another one of those guys. Forbes.
Yeah.
I say he'll probably be around 32.
Some of those guys could be available at the second round.
Right, because I'm thinking of their value at 32 versus with Jordan Addison at 32 versus those guys we just named, those four corners at 49 potentially. Versus at 32, like, would I still be fine getting one of them dudes at 49 if I still got Jordan at 32 and I already got my tackle at 17? I'm happy with that personally. Like, I'll be good. Yeah,
that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take one of them before I just listed at 32 and I miss out on Jordan enough. And one of them dudes are still sitting there at 49. I would be a little upset. Like, we kind of overreached right here.
Yep. Same exact strategy.
Yeah. Carlos. Hey, shout out to, hold on. Damon Brown just reminded me. Damon Brown says, hit the like button. You right, man. We got to hit that like button, man. I forgot to say it. Hit the like button. Shout out to you, Damon. I appreciate when you remind me of that. All right? Salute you.
We got Carlos Rosado saying, Birds fan here. You got a good one in Samala.
Man, salute you, Carlos. And we do appreciate that feedback, man. you never know. Sometimes when we get signs, I'm always like, all right, is this going to be the we got hoodwinked, or are they people going to actually be supportive of this? Exactly, because I think of that, I'm like, they got you. He got you. We got you. You know, I think of that. But this made me wonder sometimes, like...
we were saying that to Bears fans as well.
Yeah. But were they not accurate? That's with all due respect. But to an extent, yeah. So that's... Yeah, it is really good to know that, though, Carlos, man. I do like that. And I will say the tape does back up your stance on that, too, man. So salute you, though, man. Appreciate it.
Low rush, left tackle needs to be the first pick. You can't make these moves and keep Dan as Pickett's blindside with Pickett and his concussion issues. Pickett needs elite protection, and this benefits the run game greatly.
So, also, Darren Waller here is a good talent, so... There's something to keep in mind. He's off the board, though, so
I was
still glad I wanted George Kittle.
Concussion issues. I mean, I guess.
I thought you were going to point out Dan Moore didn't let up the concussion.
I think that right here, Brandon Cooks offers me the most upside. That's a high-power offense. I think he could be up to that 180-point mark again. Brandon Cooks off the board.
With $8 million and $4 million. Don't worry.
Losing me with Jacoby Myers, who I will take.
But in all seriousness, though, I mean,
Jacoby Myers also off the board, so I'm going to pull on a running back here.
I guess so. But
I'd say Tua has concussion issues.
Let's go with...
Tua had 3 and Kenny had 2.
Tyler Algier.
Kenny's compared to Tua. Like,
we can't do that now.
Like, let's just...
We can't do that now. It's not... Have you been a little pregnant, or are you pregnant?
Much different. Oh, shit. I didn't...
Are you a little pregnant?
If I could go back, I would have taken Alvin Kamara.
He still has had 2 concussions.
Somehow I didn't see him on the board. I'm not sure what happened. I think Alvin Kamara has been dropping ranks so much that I didn't see him. But I would have gone Alvin Kamara right there.
I don't know. I just look at it as concussion.
Severity.
You know what? Let's go and lock him up right here. If I can take him, I will go Alvin Kamara and lock up my running backs.
That's all my thing.
I won't need to draft a single other running back, in my opinion. I won't need another one. I'll be fine with 4, and then I can go deep with wide receivers.
Like 2 in the season is still a lot. Like 1 in the season is a lot. Like, you don't want to get a concussion. That's what I think.
Yeah, Muth had.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like we should be.
All right.
We should be conscious of that because he got one in his rookie season. Too.
Yes, he has 3 in 2 seasons. Kenny's 1 away from having 3 in 2 seasons. Yeah.
I'm unsure about a lot of the Alvin Kamara off the board, so that leaves me
both of them.
Wanting to do what? I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. You bring in a left tackle. I mean, I don't.
It ain't the like Dan wasn't the culprit, so we're good.
No, but not even that. It's just like, all right, bring in a left tackle.
I think I'm gonna go with the James Conner. Stop my running backs right there.
Like it's gonna happen. We're gonna have we literally.
And I was also considering KJ Osborne, but he seemed a little bit too down the list to take him. But KJ Osborne was definitely in my looks. He was right there.
To get the skill level.
But I'm gonna stop taking running backs now.
The guys that are left.
Yeah.
On the cap it, I would have felt a lot more confident with an Alvin Kamara at the 4, running back 4, but instead I got James Conner at a running back 4.
If you bring in a Broderick Johnson, you're probably still having him compete.
That's my whole thing. I'm just like, yes, these are nice tackles coming out in the draft, but as we talked about, are they clear-cut upgrades outside of Skoronski? I don't personally feel like they are just yet. I think that they have.
It's time to fill out my wide receivers.
But Dan Moore
I'm gonna only end up needing one more quarterback and one more tight end, so that leaves me with about 8 picks.
He started that first season, right?
Or 9 picks where I can go wide receiver. Really fill out my wide receiver core.
So there isn't even a guarantee that they even keep you after starting all that. So for Dan, them back-to-back season starts is legitimate.
And he's improved.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like it really isn't a guarantee that Broderick, Paris, or Anton comes in here and beats him out and is the week 1 starter. I think
he's going into year 3.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. Absolutely, and you're at a very, very challenging position. Left tackle, you're facing the $100 million pass rushers. Typical.
Yeah, Sean McCartney, poetic justice for a guy whose rap name is Real Money. I don't mind keeping Edmonds, but we don't need him.
Well, we never said that we needed him. We just said that we want him. We have a strong desire to retain his services, and we think that when you talk about availability, it does matter. KZ was dope in terms of creating turnovers, but there were two very different differences between KZ and in Edmonds, and that big thing was availability. Now for KZ, it was because of two things, right? Injury and obviously the suspension that took place while he was hurt, but that's still a time that he was missing. Whereas for Edmonds, man, we can count on our hand how many times Edmonds ain't been out there in that lineup. Like, that does matter. It definitely does, man. So, like I said, not a need, but we just really appreciate what he does and what he brings to this defense.
Lazard off the board before Elijah Moore.
And I'm already
not
to myself,
that
man,
surprising. If anything, it's a good move, but Elijah Moore is way up on ADP, so that's an interesting take for me.
Really impactful in terms of allowing me.
I'm just considering whether I want to take Elijah Moore personally.
So that's also, like I said, why it's not a need.
And the answer is I'd prefer to go another route with a KJ Osborne. So if I can take AJ Osborne in 4 picks, I'll definitely snag him. And I think even before him, I put a Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Young Rowe could be
both on the board.
Most money, like something.
So sort of my ranking goes KJ Osborne, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, Jalen Hyatt.
Tyron has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Tyron and welcome.
I'm hoping that a KJ Osborne can fall to me.
Yes, indeed.
Or Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Google East, who had a better IG live performance, AB or Josh?
Donovan Peoples-Jones off the board, so I'm really hoping one of these next two goes. And A-Rod, Pat Freiermuth. I'm hoping this guy goes Pat Freiermuth, either one, and they don't take KJ.
Nope. You will not see my name.
But I will be left having to take Elijah Moore if anything happens. Here we go, Pat Freiermuth off the board, and I get a KJ Osborne.
I ain't do it. It wasn't me.
So in 6 picks, I won't be mad taking Elijah Moore. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I will take an Elijah Moore.
Just get off the whole app.
After that, probably Zay Jones.
Little rush. Let Edmonds go. He's not worth more than Casey. Edmonds is a liability against the pass. Edmonds tackling.
Can't forget about, I was about to say Tyler Boyd.
I think that's debatable personally. Playmaking is just sexier. So it gets talked about more. But in terms of play in and play out, that tackling that Edmonds brings, nah, you need that.
I think Edmonds has improved in coverage.
He has.
Over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves me just looking at one person, Zay Jones,
he was doing this
and considering a Sky Moore if he falls.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
If Zay Jones falls, that is. Does not make it to me.
Miller too. Well, we still have Akello, so maybe not. I don't know. We have Akello still. What are we going to do with Akello?
Maybe Akello becomes your 4th.
But here we go. I am able to pick up Zay Jones. I take a Zay Jones.
That is a lot for the 4th.
Sky Moore was a close consideration, but just based off last season, and I understand there's another playmaker in that offense now who's the number 1 overall wide receiver in the offense in Calvin Ridley. But Zay Jones still had a great season, and I think he can produce again. Sky Moore is yet to show me that, but he does have a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Same with Isaiah Pacheco, really balling.
So that's the part where...
But with Sky Moore here, I do believe I can pick up a late round Marquez Valdez-Scantling if I'm not able to get Sky Moore, which I'm assuming being so far away right now, I'm going to guess that Sky Moore does not fall to me. I'm going to have to
I like Osiris a lot. Definitely don't
accept that. I'm not going to get Sky Moore. And Odell is on
Isaac Seumalo. But no, I like Osiris. I like Osiris a lot, though. He could pass.
If I could have gone back,
really, really good size on him.
Possibly over Zay Jones, I would have taken an Odell Beckham Jr. I didn't see Odell. I saw recently that he will be signing a contract with, I believe, the Baltimore Ravens for over $20 million a year. I'm not sure if that was all cap. I don't know if it was real or not, but if he does, it means that he is a esteemed wide receiver in that offense. I'm absolutely certain he's going to be off the board, and it's going to leave me having to draft another position.
super chat. It's not like the first time, baby. Not like the first time. We glad to be there with you, though, man. So salute you.
Colton Troy Food, the more I watch Ika, the more I want us to get him. He reminds me of Hampton, but can move better. The way he moves, guys.
So, yeah, I'm sure Odell's going to be off the board. But in 9 picks, I would go in Odell.
Hey.
Hell, I might even go in Odell before Zay Jones, who I just took. I might go Odell before Zay Jones, that is.
Some people want him to play 100% of the snaps at 100% effort, pass play, and run play. That is not him. He is a run defender, a nose tackle to the truest sense. You don't want him playing a ton of plays. You want him to play like a normal nose tackle plays, 35% of the snaps. He does that. I think everybody in the Steelers Nation loves him. You start playing on 50%, 60% of the time, yeah, you're going to have some bad plays up there where it's not necessarily him getting beat, just him being lazy. But it's because he's a very, very large man. So you just got to know what you're getting, but also what are you asking of him. And I think as long as we know what we're asking of him, I love him. And in terms of the true nose guard, he's the best one in his class to me. Yeah.
I feel like we would utilize him correctly, especially with us signing Ogunjobi.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to. Yeah, he would essentially take on Tyson's role when Tyson first signed here 3 years ago? Might have been longer than that now.
And he should be a better version.
I would also agree.
Let's go UW. Charleston Rambo showing out again in the XFL. He'd be a good slot return guy for us.
Nah, man, we like Charleston, man. When he was coming out of Miami, we looked at him, 6th, 7th round guy potentially. Yeah, he's definitely having some success in the XFL though, man. The consistency has shown up a lot more. Yeah, I like his game, man. We'll see. We'll definitely see, man. Except we're gonna have to get one of these XFL dudes on real quick too, man. Give us a little behind the scenes of how it's going on.
Josh Downs off the board. That would have been my pick, but I'm going to be left taking Kyler Murray as my second quarterback, and I capped my quarterback room. I'm done taking quarterback. There's no real reason to take Kyler Murray, being that I have Josh Allen, and he usually scores above 400 points. But I went Kyler Murray. Maybe there are a couple games where he scores even more points than Josh Allen. We'll have to see. Definitely on a bye week, I want a Kyler Murray balling for me. So we're going to have to see.
Well, I'm seeing some stuff. Patriots are a dark horse for Lamar. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll get Lamar for Max Swap.
Well, because that's what Belichick wants. He wants that type of quarterback. That's why he brought in.
Being that Paris Campbell went to a different offense, I'm definitely eyeing up an Alec Pierce right here.
Cam was a little bit too banged up at that stage.
If Alec Pierce is off the board,
that's what he wants, though.
I will take a Devin A-Chain.
He's talking about. He's like, I love
or Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson's off the board.
That's what dudes that have played against that know what that is. Like, bro, that's a headache.
So
you could move on from that.
While I want an Alec Pierce, if he's off the board, I will take a Devin A-Chain.
Is giving us some support.
Devin A-Chain off the board. So
shout out to that first time.
I don't feel like I need another running back. I said I capped my room with running back, but it wouldn't be terrible to take one more. So I'm hoping Alec Pierce falls to me right here.
I'm excited, baby.
Sean McCartney. Do you actually need Edmonds tackling when you finally got inside linebackers that can actually tackle? Rather have a strong safety that can cover than have inside linebackers cover a receiver.
I mean, that's cool. The way it works is this. If you put a guy out there that is designed to cover, offenses make him tackle.
Can't forget, I really do like Rashid Shaheed. I really like Rashid Shaheed. Rondell Moore, if DeAndre Hopkins get traded, I could see myself pulling a Rondell Moore more often, but I haven't seen the trade yet. I've seen speculations, but nothing actually in play yet. So right here would be Rashid Shaheed, Rondell Moore.
The free safety.
But I don't think either one of them is going to fall to me. I'll also throw Michael Gallup on the list.
Which in our defense, majority of times, is Edmonds. So... yeah, I know
Marquez,
y'all like to minimize
DJ
the
Chark,
part for
Hunter Renfrow.
I get it, and I know y'all want to substitute.
But I want Marquez over DJ.
Because Casey had, 3 picks?
He had 2.
2 picks. I know you want to substitute 2 picks over all of the tackle and stuff like that. I get it. But there is a difference. It's a distinct difference. So I personally don't make that trade-off. Nah. Like I said, man, I'm an Edmonds dude because of the tackling, because that's what keeps you in, play in and play out. Bad safety tackling kills your defense. You got you a safety that can tackle really good. That's all.
Hannibal 090, peace and blessings, Moats Deke in the chat. I'm super late. Blame it on all my weekend B-Day festivities.
You better turn up.
But it's what you do with Monday.
Facts.
B-Days, it's Pisces way.
It is the Pisces way. You know what it is. I'm still celebrating. My birthday balloons are still up in this house. And I'm not taking them down anytime soon. Even though my wife's birthday coming up. But I told her I'm rocking my birthday balloons like she got to chill out. It's my birthday right now.
By the way, bring Edmonds back. He fits well with makeup.
No, he does, man. He does. He said it's just a different style of player than Casey. Casey is going to give you more of the ball hawking, more of the ranginess. Whereas Edmonds is giving you physicality. He's giving you guaranteed short tackling. Like you said, you need both of them, though. Definitely need both of them. But I like it, though. I do.
Went down and listed my next 15 prospects already, so I'm ready to take a lot of these guys, whoever falls to me.
Stuff as always. But now, ladies and gents,
in 6 picks, I definitely do value a Marquez Valdez-Scantling, even though his ADP is questionable.
Mocks that are up there. You Young
the number
up there.
I'm
William
referring to.
Made it. Young Papi Benito has something up here. We got a ton of names. All right, Drew Miller. We actually might be getting to him in a little bit. All right, but definitely want to check those out, man, to see if you made the cut or not. All right, but with that being said,
somehow I do see Adam Thielen going to Carolina right now. The way I see it, Adam Thielen off the board. So, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling off the board.
Went with Joey Porter Jr. at 32. Anton Harrison at 49. Luke Musgrave, the tight end out of Oregon State. At 3rd round, Garrett Williams, the corner from Syracuse. At 120, Michael Wilson.
I guess for what it's worth, I could see a DJ Chark also going to Carolina.
Our first 7th round pick went with Muhammad Ibrahim, the running back out of Minnesota, and then to
DJ Chark is a sleeper.
DJ Dale, the interior D lineman from.
Next up, I think I'm going to value a Terrence Marshall
now, with most of these names
Curtis
up here,
Samuel.
We've already talked about them.
No, I'm not.
We're talking JPJ. We know JPJ really well. Very long corner, man, rangy. Really good ball skills.
Do you guys want to see me go Curtis Samuel
or pick Anton Harrison? Like him a lot. Big body dude from Oklahoma. Part of that group of the Skoronskis, the Paris Johnsons, the Broderick Jones type. I definitely like him, though, man. Luke Musgrave. You know y'all got me on my double tight end sets now. Double tight end sets. And Luke is definitely one of those dudes, man, that is athletic, man, that can definitely do some stuff in terms of route running and just ball in his hands. Garrett Williams coming off the ACL injury, but if it wasn't for that, this dude would be talked about a lot more in terms of draft stock and stuff like that. Michael Wilson, vertical receiver, man. Feast or famine. He's your 50-50 ball. Does a good job in terms of combat catching, back shoulder stuff. Also does a good job in terms of once he gets that ball in his hands, showing off some of that top end speed. Not necessarily elusive, make you miss quickly, but if he gets that ball and he gets north and south, think kind of like a Martavis. He can go. So I did like that about him. Thought he was a little bit limited with his route tree. Didn't see a ton of digs, in-breaking stuff. It was, like I said, it was more so verts and stops, back shoulders. And he wasn't very explosive when I did see him running some of those in-breaking routes in terms of just getting in and out of his breaks. So separation at the NFL level could have some issues there, but he's a combat catch guy, so that's where he was living. And then with Mo Ibrahim, smooth little running back, man, out of Minnesota. I low-key like this game, though. Good vision, good contact balance. Thought he had a decent burst, not like crazy. Like I didn't think it was like 4.2, 4.3 fast, but it was still decent. The contact balance and the vision really stood out to me the most, though. But I think he was a good player. Not a big dude either, though. That's the other part when I was looking at him. And then DJ Dale. DJ Dale is massive. D tackle, nose tackle, like a short area quickness. Can play 3 technique, the 1 technique, or nose tackle. Disruptive at times as a pass rusher. They used him in the games in terms of like pass rush stunts, but he was always the penetrator, always the first guy to go. Somebody else would loop behind him. So he's good there. Plays a little bit high at times. More of a rotational guy when he was at Bama. Like he still played a good amount, but he was the sub-in guy. He wasn't the starter. So that part, and then I just thought, like I said, technique, he could be a little more consistent, but that is probably why he was rotating versus being a full-time starter while he was down there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of this draft, corner, little tackle, tight end, another corner, wide receiver.
Surprised Terrace Marshall was still on the board.
But other than that,
expected him to fall directly after I took Curtis Samuel.
Him taking a running back has me thinking. I mean, are we gonna
definitely like Tim Patrick this year, especially if Jerry Jeudy gets traded. Almost could argue I should go Tim Patrick over him. Tim Patrick could have gone over Curtis Samuel, but we're gonna have to see how things play out because I'm not sure if for sure one of those wide receivers is going to get traded. Curtis Samuel is the number 3 in that offense, and I don't love that he's the number 3. It limits his production, but he did have a good season last year.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when I saw running back, though.
Yeah, you wonder if he could play special teams. That's what I'm thinking. The tight end pick. Like the concept, I don't like the player.
Ooh, of the other ones, yeah.
For tight end too.
On the board.
Yeah, and I'm assuming he would have been available in this PFF. Give me Darnell Washington.
With you.
Because you're getting better blocking. Yep. And this Musgrave dude, he is athletic.
Jefferson.
There's just not much production from him, if I'm being honest. I don't know if he's as crisp a route runner like a dude like Michael Mayer, or even on Kincaid's level. And then he just doesn't give me splash after the ball. He's just getting tackled. Like I'm not seeing Gronk type of just crazy. Even Muth, like that's why they were calling him Baby Muth. Yeah. At Penn State, dude would get the ball and just be running over people. Musgrave for his size, I'm just like I need a little more. I need a little more dog.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. I like the concepts though here. I just don't know if I like the players. Like I don't like Wilson either as a receiver. Not much production at Stanford. And you're right. Just left more to be desired. He's making some really nice combat catches. Like, you toss it up to him, he can high point it well.
Yeah.
But, man, for the amount of time he's missed, and then I don't even think he has over 500
So,
yards
with Dalton Kincaid still being on the board, I'm going to take a John Mechie.
But then
I think he's a playmaker.
Porter, Garrett Williams, I really love. They could be like
hopefully Dalton Kincaid now falls to me, being that there are two tight ends. Wayne to Belton still on the board. And I'm only 6 picks away.
Second-round pick with Harrison. Yeah. Fine, have him come in, compete with Dan Moore. Maybe he could be a long-term solution for you. So I like the concepts of this draft. I'd swap out some players, though. I like the thought process.
Nah, shout out, though. Yeah, I'm with you, though, man. This is a good one. This is a good starter one right here. Shout out to Whitaker. All right, you ready to go to the next one, then?
Yeah.
All right, let's tap in. This next one is from Rob Welton. Shout out to Rob Welton as well. So in the first round, he goes Paris Johnson Jr. 32 overall. He wins with Captain Jack. Shout out to Jack Campbell, inside linebacker out of Iowa. At 49, Darnell Washington, the tight end we were just talking about. Then at 80 in the third round, Garrett Williams. Oh, you cooking over here. He gave me Kobe Turner in the fourth, 120 overall out of Wake Forest. Then he spent the block in the 7th round, gave me Mo Ibrahim. I definitely like that version a lot better. And then also in the 7th round, went with the safety out of Iowa.
Don Kincaid off the board. Fuck.
Let me take a sip before we talk about
I will take no offense.
Low-key just got excited.
Actually,
I like this one too. I like it better
not that happy about what happened.
I just feel like
with Don Kincaid, but I ended up with a Noah Fant as my second tight end. So I'm not mad at it.
For like full clarification.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. The beauty is, though, we don't know when they're going to make them moves or if they're going to make them moves.
Yeah, it's almost like you need to send in a side note and say, like, oh, we pick up a free agent.
Some people one of these guys,
like, hey,
I sent Van Jefferson on the board.
And I was like, it was like, you sub this guy. I'm like, I see what you mean there. But in terms of Rob Welton, his draft. Some of these players, man, when you talk Paris Johnson, Paris is viewed as either the number 2 or number 3 tackle prospect, so we get it. Jack Campbell, love his physicality, tested even better at the combines from an athletic perspective. I just wonder, do I still need – well, I guess I do still need it, though, right now, because I lost 3. And I only brought back 2. So, yeah, Jack coming back – or Jack getting drafted would work. since I lost Spillane, Miles Jack, and Devin Bush, and I only brought in the Landon Roberts and Cole Holcomb. So, yeah, I mean, you're still keeping that three-headed monster element going. Darnell Washington, love that at 49. Garrett Williams at 80 overall, love that. Kobe Turner. Shout out to Kobe Turner, man. Kobe's just a little undersized. But you talk about a super explosive three technique who is getting off that ball with elite change of direction. That's Kobe, man. That is Kobe. Very, very consistent with his burst. This dude plays so hard too, man. Like, I like his game, man. Transferred from Richmond to Wake Forest. He said the big thing for me is just he's slightly undersized. He reminds me, he looks like Aaron Donald and Kalijah Cansey types. But those dudes are a little bit, or not a little bit, just more dominant versus the run versus the pass. Whereas when I look at Kobe, it flashes, but it's not there on a plain and plow basis, especially with him being as small as he is. But I like his game. Dang, I like how he plays the game, man. We obviously just talked about Ibrahim, the running back from Minnesota. And then Kavon Merriweather. Kavon was interesting to me. I like his instincts. I like his quicks a lot. I think when you're talking about him finding the alley and filling the alley versus some of the runs on the perimeter when you're out by the wide receivers and stuff, he finds the angle consistently. I do like that, and I think he's a short tackler. I did have some questions about his athleticism, though. Like, in terms of him having to play in space with some guys, to me, just watching him, I think he's more special teamer. And maybe you get out of a stadium in a 3 safety role or a package. I don't personally like him as, like, a guy that's going to be playing a lot out there. But to me, I do think he gives you special teams value, though. I do like that with him.
7th round pick.
Yeah.
Taking shots in the dark here.
Yeah. Man, as mock draft season, we're gonna be real versed in our 7th and 6th and our undrafted free agents. You know how we do.
What do you think of this stuff?
I liked it more than last one.
I do too. The thing for me is, if you're taking linebacker, I want one of the athletic guys at this point.
I'm with you. I'm like, we got 3 thumpers. These are all 3 the same, man.
Now, would I be surprised if we just double down and do a Jack Campbell and combine him with the 2 dudes we already have? I wouldn't be surprised.
The most physical front 7. The most physical. Yeah.
I would want Trenton Simpson or Drew Sanders, though. Yeah, we're taking linebacker. And I think both of them are typically available on these PFF mocks. Like the Darnell Washington pick, Garrett Williams. The question I have with Garrett Williams, though, what else are we doing at cornerback? Because I don't know if he's going to be available early on.
Yeah. Well, if you're keeping Akello.
I guess.
If you're keeping, because he's still on the roster right now. It's not that we got to go spend it.
I guess. Yeah.
So as long as he's here, then Garrett is your 4th guy.
And it looks like Garrett could play some slot.
Mm-hmm. Garrett's nice, Johnson. Bro. If Garrett's healthy, Garrett nice.
Paris Johnson, good player. That's your tackle pick. I'd be a little bummed. I want either Broderick or Skoronski.
Yeah, that's
in the first round.
Paris, man, after watching Paris struggle with some of that speed, that got me a little gunshot on him, man. Because in the NFL, that's what we throwing. We want flamethrowers out there. Give me something that's gonna make this thing go into the deep end of the pool with no life vest on. Yeah.
I like this one a little bit better.
I do have Darius Slayton ranked
above
Tyler Conklin, but I'm going to go Tyler Conklin.
Kobe is a 4-3 dude.
I hope that Darius Slayton falls to me. The reason why I did that, I want to fill out my tight end position, get as many depth players as I can.
Plays it hard.
Darius Slayton right off the board. That's too bad. I did want to get a Darius Slayton. That's unfortunate, but things fell how they fell.
That we're going to talk about today.
I did like Darius Slayton a lot as a prospect. Almost wish that I went with him, but I think getting Tyler Conklin was important.
He goes, Brian Branch, safety in the 1st, 17th overall. Cam.
Am I wrong, but does Trenton Simpson look like TG here?
Turn this picture he do, bro. He got the serious face. Question is he on that T-Mobile like TG is in this picture? He in Koch. You probably on that T-Mobile. He in Koch right now.
Hey, so not only that, there was a great comment from the last mock. Mm-hmm. Drew's Blues 2001 says, Jack Campbell looks like a retired Hall of Famer in that picture. Dang. True. He looked like he's 45.
He did look
and did
old,
about
bro.
13 years in the league.
And smoked about 40 packs of cigs. Yeah, he had that look.
Let's go Corey Davis here.
Had that look. What? See?
Hope that a Rasheed Rice falls to me. But I will take any of these in this order.
All right, so Brian Branch was who we got in the first round, 17th overall. Cam Smith, 32nd overall, the corner out of South Carolina. TG, a.k.a. Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson with the 49th overall selection. With Nathaniel, a.k.a. Tank Dale, the wide receiver out of Houston in the 3rd. Isaiah McGuire, the DN from or edge rusher out of Missouri. I like his game too, man. 4th rounder, 128th overall. My quarterback. Remember when we talked about who's our like the dark horse or the unsung guy, and I was like, Stetson's my guy. I just claimed Stetson. Okay. All right, so we did draft Stetson. Stetson Bennett, shout out to that. All right, so I instantly love this draft because Stetson Bennett's at the draft. Okay, and then I actually like this flyer a lot. Brenton Strange in the 7th, the tight end out of Penn State. All right.
One of these two guys.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, so Brian Branch, we know. Brian Branch, man, athletic, versatile. We said he's essentially the Tyrann Mathieu of this class at safety. Love pairing that with Minka. I don't know how I like it now that we have Casey back because I do feel like there's some similarities there. But Brian Branch is a heck of a player, man. Cam Smith, when I talked about him, man, he reminds me of Cam Sutton. Extremely smart player, man. Could play inside, play outside. Was going to tackle you. Checks off a ton of boxes. Was a very productive player, too, down there at South Carolina. Excuse me. So, yeah, definitely like him. Yeah, I like his tape, bro. I definitely like him. And then Trenton Simpson, we talked about him, man. Super rangy, athletic, off-ball linebacker. Little undersized, but you can see how he moves. And obviously we know that the Steelers have been linked to him, whether it was the combine meetings and then pro day showing up in meetings as well. So whenever you get those two correlations, antennas definitely go up. So he's certainly on the radar. Nathaniel Dell, a.k.a. Tank. Love this dude. The speedy receiver, creates separation and has run after. Yeah, I like him a lot. Isaiah McGuire. Isaiah is a big body, long DN. Truly, he's a 4-3 DN guy. Really reminds me of, I don't know if you know this dude, Cliff Averill, played with Seattle Seahawks. He puts me in mind of him, man, in terms of how he rushed the passer. Explosive out his stance, could bend well. I personally think that he's too big to play in our defense in terms of standing him up and having him doing some of the dropping stuff. If we designated a rusher and a coverage linebacker, I would love him here. Because of the size, he plays with the heavy hands. He can win rushing outside or inside, but not a speed rush guy. He wins with the outside hand knockdown, or he has a smooth inside rush that he does. But I just don't think he fits the 3-4 like that, where he's going to have to drop like how we do.
That was my big takeaway with him. Smooth.
Yeah, I like his game, though, bro. I definitely like his game. Stetson Bennett, come on, man. This is Mr. National Champion. This is Mr. Turn Up Culture. This is Mr. Do What He Got to Do. You know what I'm saying? That he was underrated, and then he had to overcome the odds, and then he did what he's supposed to have done, and he lit it up at the combine. So, since I know TG always bring up AR-15 and what he did at the combine, Stetson had a dope combine, too. Nobody let's talk about Stetson's combine. Stetson was all right? So I definitely like that, but Brenton Strange, I like this flyer.
Pairing back with Muth.
Man, big upside in terms of receiving ability, run out the catch ability. He give me Darren Waller vibes, low key. The blocking got to improve. That definitely has to improve. But in terms of like what he's capable of, like his ceiling, I think he has a really high ceiling in terms of just like his ability to create separation, his ability to combat catch.
Let's go, Gus Edwards.
It was weird that when I watched him at Penn State, some of the games I was watching of him, they rarely would have him inline tight end. It was usually he's out in the slot or he's off ball. He was the move guy. But it's weird because of how big he is. He looks like he's supposed to be like a Gentry type. Put him on the point.
Right.
So with that, you love the upside of could he develop into a blocker? But
we need a blocker now.
Yeah, we need a blocker. And that's why I like Darnell Washington more. I think Brenton is a better route runner than Darnell Washington. But what Darnell brings in terms of his receiving with his elite level blocking, to me, I would much rather go that route if I'm going big body dudes like that. But Brenton, though, man, he has upside, though. Like I said, because the receiving ability.
Versus Darnell, you're taking second round potentially.
Yeah. And that's the big difference. One, you don't have these questions. Brenton, I'm watching him on tape, and I'm saying to myself,
I do have
love
Josh Allen.
cool,
they just picked up Deontay Hardy. So
and the NFL,
let's see what he can do
in
that offensive scheme.
And that's
I don't like is they already have Khalil Shakur,
that was my big
and they pretty much play the same
how
role
well
in the offense.
how
but
physical
maybe we'll see how things play out.
Vein,
Deontay Hardy off the board.
I don't
let's
think
go with
he's
Cedric
as
Tillman.
dynamic like a Kyle Pitts, where you could just say you're exclusively the sexy tight end.
You could say, Matt, go
I don't
Zach
think
Ertz.
he does it to that level just yet.
I didn't
so if
see
you're
him.
not, you're going to have to be able to do some of this dirty work.
I should have thought about that. I could have gone Zach Ertz over Cedric Tillman. I haven't seen Cedric Tillman play, but I've seen Zach Ertz play. There he goes off the board. And
man, I weirdly
I'll do it now for this draft.
I low-key do too.
Put Brian Branch in the slot.
Too, bro. I like this one. I like this one.
Have Cam Smith develop
I like this one. I like this one.
Trenton Simpson is your third inside linebacker.
You got Tank Dell, bro.
Yeah.
We got Tank and Stetson been in the same draft. You like Tank, I like Stetson.
I need the side note of we address left tackle somehow, somewhere in free agency and bring in a Dan Moore competition guy. That's really it.
I like this.
That's the only thing that's glaringly missing compared to most of these other mocks. It's just left tackle.
And you can make a case Tank at 80 overall versus Tank or Nathaniel Dell at 120. I think you can make a case there. But if you like him,
I think if the Steelers are taking
him, if you like him, you get
in any of these middle, whatever receiver we're taking, any of these middle rounds, it's just not questionable.
Yeah,
boom, that wraps it up.
Yeah. You like him, go get him, man.
Those are my draft picks.
And we like the correlation too, Nathaniel
so
Dell.
next time, make sure to drop a thumbs up.
Was a speedy receiver,
and we can get